All right. We are back. Week number 76 of the year. Got the wife laying over here. Got Willie Loans on the call here.
Willie Wedhams. That was my fantasy football name, but I didn't do well. But anyways.
I like it. Yeah. So we're trying to do a podcast video, not sitting next to each other and talking, but doing this cool hip thing that everybody's doing, which is the virtual podcast, I guess. So yeah, we've got a screen share here. So we're going to talk about, kind of new year, new start, new playbook, kind of building out Excel platforms that we have no idea how to do. And then what it really takes to get to where we want to be. Right now we have a goal called the road to 20. And our deadline for that goal is to get to there by the end of the first quarter. Well, that was weird. I heard noise, but I don't know if that was your computer or somebody's. Is this like old phone calls when you get to start hearing other people talk?
Yeah, I'm hearing white noise from the beyond.
Yeah, so we have two big goals this year. The first one is the road to 20. That's us trying to get to 20 loans closed in 1 month, which used to be easy. The last year and a half has not been easy. So we are looking at what it takes to get there. Can we do it with our small team right now before we expand our team and go into another phase, and do it quick? And we could reverse engineer that to see how many leads we're going to get based off conversions and all that fun stuff. And then our phase for the end of the year that we want is going to be something we haven't done before, which is the road to 100. But that's a whole different story and another topic and another plan, because that's going to require more people, more resources, and a lot bigger budget for marketing. So anyways, let's try this out. Let's try this screen share out and see what you have, Will. And if you want, I can always jump into mine and compare, and let's build it out or add to what you've already built out if we need to from there.
Yeah, I think this is mostly just a start and a little rough draft on what we think we need to do here. Calls wise, I think we went over this. I just kind of blew it up and made it more clean. I don't know if these percentages are right. I mean, I guess with KPIs,
just so you know, nothing's right. It's all a guess in the beginning until you do it, and then we will.
This might be even too low. You know what I mean? So.
By the way, I got it now. Jill's messing me up because she wanted to make her own road to 20 processing. If you saw that too.
Oh, did she? She added one?
Yeah. Did you save this, by the way, in the Google Drive or no?
No, I have them open still. I just didn't put them anywhere. The call tracking weekly should be saving automatically in there. And I just was adding to them, so they're probably just saving as they're going, I would assume. Right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, never mind. I see it now. Okay. Call tracking. Okay. It didn't look like anything was on there when I had the little Google Drive view. That's what I was asking.
Yeah. So I think that, we'll just add to that. I guess I just was adding to what we already started to do, but maybe we can name this differently. This would be the call tracking to 20. I don't know, whatever specific. But yeah, this is what we kind of like. It just kind of shows what we're going to make as calls to kind of, track that, see where that goes. Obviously, Friday, this guy left a little early, and see what happens. That happens on a daily basis, right? So yeah, I mean, I think we kind of wanted around 20 leads a week to get to 80 to get to our road to 20 funding, right? I think was that like kind of a fourth of the actual good leads might end up as qualified loans that actually make it all the way through. So
yeah, and I think so this is good because we're going to find out, we talked about that a little bit with marketing, what converts at what percentage, right? It's direct mail converting at 15%, our Google leads converting at 5, 8, 10%, right? Our shared, different marketing channels have different conversion rates. They also have different costs that go in with them, which, by the way, I did get Google Ads finally approved. So I'm waiting for them to do their whole dial it in thing or whatever. But they denied me a few times today, and then finally got the ad.
You have to do something. I know that they have to do stuff very specific, got their own whatever. So Like
Yeah,
that
I
video
was trying
I
to
had to
use
shoot, right?
our direct my loan website that goes to the other website, and they didn't like that, so that was the hold it today. But
Uh,
heck, I spent
yeah,
4 hours, or yeah, like almost 4 hours, maybe over 4 hours last night trying to just do all the keywords and the headlines and the sub headlines and all that junk. It was like all new to me, um,
yeah,
but yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know.
awesome because we're gonna find out all these conversions, and
Yeah,
that's
we're
something
gonna
that's gonna take 6 months to get figured out anyway. So
right. These are gonna change probably weekly, every 2 weeks, every month for sure. But and we'll figure it out what's working. But I mean, you said nothing's wrong, but this might be overestimating, underestimating. I don't know yet. So
So when
um,
you say client spoke to with the percentage in that first column, what's that mean?
clients spoke to, oh, answered
86% or
clients. Yeah, clients answered 65% of the calls that were made. Someone answered.
okay, so you would
Um,
put like calls made.
calls made 40, 30, 20. This is
Oh,
just
I
to give
got
you
you.
like a,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's going to take
This is
all
like
those and add them together and then
I
how much
actually did
actually
it
got
like
spoke
I
to.
kind of compounded this, and I don't know if we need weekly, but I kind of made it into a monthly tracker. So I took calls made week one, and this is compounded like if you back it out to the week, this is 165 calls is what we need to make at least minimum to get to this 20, you know. And I gave us a buffer of 1.4 or whatever, but I rounded down to 20 there just to give you a little buffer. But um I took that whole week and put it into calls made in a week, and I just, say, oh, this is a good week, this is a bad week, more calls, this and that. I mean, this was what I kind of came out with almost 800 calls for a whole month on this. So um, we'll come back to this, but as far as weekly, I mean, 40 calls, 65 percent people answer. That's 26 people you've actually spoken to. I mean, this might be a jump here. Half the people are interested, and then of those interested people, 40% of those people actually are a qualified lead. So
Gotcha.
that might be a stretch. I don't know how great the leads are going to be as far as
I think
getting
this client
demands,
spoke to
but
one is the one that'll probably be lesser, but
right.
it's all good. Again, we don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's higher, right? That'd be awesome to have 5
Oh
qualified
yeah.
people out of 40 calls would be amazing, right? So
Right. What's that? It's a 5 out of 40. What is that? 12%, 12, 13%. So yeah, that's probably a high, but I just am putting it there just to see where we fall. And if it's 30% probably, or whatever, maybe. So,
and I think obviously using the new high level CRM too. If we use it right and build it out, we could track through there. But I always track in 2 or 3 different platforms, anyways, right? Like here, I can control it, you know, and
right.
no tech
And
issues really. I could just plug in my numbers at the end of every day or whatever, and I can
you
track it
kind of
based off my phone.
cross reference your numbers and make sure everything's aligned. Yeah. So,
Yeah. So if you look at say the CRM and it's like 10 calls and you're like, no, dude, I made
right.
40 looking at my phone, we can know there's a problem, have to fix it. So
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't even know how to read this yet, to be honest with you. I guess it's pretty
you won't
easy.
know it till, well, did you actually use it today? First time?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I didn't call off of it. Actually, I called Lila to make sure she could hear me because I was trying to have this mic work with my phone, and she said it
uh-huh,
worked good. So yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, you won't, I mean, so if you click on reporting, I mean, you didn't really use it. So once you use it a few times and then you can just go back and check it. But if you click that reporting one and then agent reporting or call reporting on the top,
Oh, up here.
um, yeah, I forget
Page.
what that's
Oh.
called. So you click agent reporting and then that would be for you. And that's from Monday, December 4th so that's for like the last month. You could adjust that. And the metrics should all populate in here. So total calls is 1. I see it right there on dialer calls, like in the lower right kind of sign. It's up 100% from what you did yesterday. So perfect.
That's 100%. Nice.
So that would be probably the one call to Lila too. Now, if you go to call reporting, actually, maybe don't do that because we don't want to put any phone numbers and stuff on here because if we do put it on YouTube, they will deny it. I've had a couple videos. Or I was like going through CRM or stuff. It's like denied. Take it off a day later because it has personal information.
Yeah, well, you can do the whole month
But
or last 30 or whatever.
But yeah, so that'll be cool because I mean that looks like it's working better than the other one already. But see, this is pretty. It's pretty cool if you really think about it, because I can look at in the beginning it's going to be way off because you're moving stuff around, you're setting it up, all the imported stuff, right?
Yeah,
But
this
3
first couple of
emails
weeks.
sent, one was actually opened, 0 clicked. You can get that. Your text message, one was sent, one was delivered. We'll be able to kind of measure a lot of that stuff, which then you might carry into your spreadsheet and add more to it. My spreadsheets usually start with like a few columns, and then a week later there's a bunch more, and then a month later there's color coding and all kinds of fun stuff, and
You're adding
17 tabs.
constantly.
And then I go, it's kind of like buying houses. Like when you start, you want to buy a bunch, you get a bunch, and then you want to get rid of a bunch and have each one more profitable, right? So because you don't want to manage 50 houses, for example. You want to manage 10 when you're out there. But if you're
Or you
making
can change
$300
this,
or
huh?
$3,000 on them each, then it's going to change it. So yeah, it's kind of the same thing with collecting data. It's like a heartbeat. It pulses, it gets big and then gets small.
Bigger and smaller.
But yeah, this is cool. So yeah,
So
I
you
think
can look
that
at
conversion
each
is going to be
category
good.
too. Conversions. Yeah.
Yeah, you can change it up.
Where you,
So as long as we
cool.
put the information in there correctly. So like as for for the loans we're processing, I think Tessa removed all the loan values and stuff in there too. And that price on the dashboard, this is more reporting for each person. This is better for like holding ourselves accountable and our team for accountable for what they're doing. In here, we should be able to see more like opportunity value and stuff like that, which is going to be great. So we can measure the pipeline. What we're converting at. Is it 50% or 80%? So, and then like Jill on processing too, she's going to start. I had a Zoom with her this morning, and we were going over, basically the reports I used to send out at the end of the month, right? The funded report and active pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll also find what was sent to processing, because sometimes they're canceled and we don't know and all that stuff. So getting all that data, like it's not just to look pretty and make everybody be happy, it's to know what we're closing at, because when we're closing either as a person or a team at 50%, we know there's something going on, whether it's the data, the person, the scripting, or whatever. So
Right.
and the scripting, by the way, is key. I think if you have like a way you talk to a person, you should do is, if you're talking to somebody, like you're on, we have those times, like for me, sometimes I feel like I'm on my game and sometimes I'm a little off. But if I'm on my game, I'll do the same thing too. I'll try to record my conversation, but I'll do like, maybe I'll do the new journal entry where it just records your voice, says your words, or the voice recorder, like for text or something. Maybe we should record that, and then we could just transition it to a document, and it's kind of almost a script, and we could just clean it up, like you would with like a AI chat GPT thing, right? Clean it up a little bit, because that would be something good. Like we said before, like part of the SOPs that we want, and is documenting everything.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to do with that, but I kind of just had some thoughts and I just started writing. So
let's see what you wrote. I'm gonna actually look on my other screen, because
no, I'm
the share screen.
I'm controlling this screen share.
You're in total control, man.
So
It's fuzzy, and I put the camera right in front of my screen, so I'm like looking around it, trying to see it right now.
I mean, how many calls would it take? So you say we put 35%. Let's just say that's pretty low. 40 calls to touch base with 14. About half of them will be interested, and about 3 people will qualify with 40
right,
calls.
and then you'll drag it, and then you'll probably. I can see where you'll probably go with this, is add more columns, which is like every milestone, right? Clients qualified, clients interested, clients application taken, right? Application back. And you can kind of add columns and build it from there too. So
yeah. So I mean, looks like we need more calls.
I like it too. You already put the road to 100 down there too, so that's it's just putting the vibe out there.
It's further down the road. I just added that right now while you're talking a bit ago.
Oh,
but
Told you
anyways,
the
yeah, no, I
camera's in
think
my
that's
face. I can't see.
that's a good idea though, as far as yeah, no, like we should, yeah, definitely make a script. And I think, yeah, when you're talking to someone or just talking out loud and when you're on your game, yeah, create something like that.
Yeah,
That'd be a good
exactly.
idea.
And save it because I save a
Yeah,
lot of junk and I got a lot of stuff from back in the day, but there's a lot of stuff I don't have because I didn't save it or it was
because you never saved
beforehand.
it.
And was I talking to you? I was trying to trying to find some of the old marketing pieces from 15 or whatever. And I was like, I don't know where they're at. I guess I lost those ones. But
Right,
yeah, document. I wish I would document more stuff. Like even more was more of the bad stuff to learn from. But yeah, that's part of the operating procedure because Will's maxed out. We're all busy and we need more people. We want them to follow the same type
right.
of, so not just
No,
throw them in, like which
it's
I've
all
done in the
part of that
past, which is
that whole thing with culture and just streamlining everything to make it easier for everybody and yeah, make it easier for the new people, us included. So
yeah,
I think that'll
we're
help.
building stuff right now. We're the architects right now and engineering it. So
Right,
then the tenants can come and move in at a second grade reading level and just plug and play and be more automated.
right.
It was same with Jill. It's like, you have 5 people. Do you want to talk to each person for 25 minutes or do you want to send them a video of you saying the same thing that takes you 1 minute, after you've recorded it? So,
Right. Yeah. No, I'm sure we'll have to bounce. I mean, we'll have to play with that and make sure everything's fine tuned because some people need to get talked to. I mean, I think even like, I guess maybe we shouldn't hire people that are not self motivated or whatever, but BB would be the type of an example. I don't know if I should be talking about BB right now, but, um,
she's on the call. It's okay.
okay. Where is she? What screen is
She's
she?
doing great, actually. And I'm just really happy.
No, I'm just saying people are different. I mean, you could send people homework, you could send people scripts, you could send, but sometimes some people just need to be told what to do or need to be written or whatever. But yeah, um,
Yeah, that's so
that's
what you're
further on
talking about right
down the
now
line,
would be in your standard operating procedures as you build that out, right? Like
right?
the SOPs of hiring, for example. And that's kind of take the stuff we've already started and expand on it too, because you're talking about the same stuff we were just going down the road not too long ago, right? I know we're not. If the right person comes around that is culture oriented and goal oriented and all that stuff, then great. But we're not looking to expand yet till we get to our road to 20. Um,
Right.
but yeah, we went down that. It's like, going through all these people. I swear that's my chair. If you heard it, it's not me.
Sure. It's always the chair, huh?
I squeaked, and I hear so much more with the headset on than I think what you hear is
Yeah.
like I hear every echo. Um, Probably because I don't have it set up right. But yeah, no, it's all about culture. Do they fit our culture? Do we get along enough to date and get married to each other? Right. So,
Right. Let me, so I put it back to 65, which may be unrealistic, but let's just leave it there just
yeah, no,
for
leave it
happy's
there.
sake.
The main thing right now is going to be the first level, right? So,
Right.
the call's made. So for
And
us,
it'll trickle down everything. We'll get all the data from that pretty much. So,
exactly. Yeah.
um,
So until you're actually doing it, because you might say I only made, you know, 10 or I banged out 120, right?
yeah,
Um,
but 10, even 10, it's terrible. You get one. That might be good. It's not bad. I just wanted to see what it looks like as far as, all right, you made 25. I wanted to change the values just to see where, like, what a day might look like if you did that. You know what I mean? What if you consistently did that? So, but yeah, like you said,
yeah,
this might be heavy though. So we'll see.
but you'll find out. Yeah. No, that's the best part with I love building these things because then it's just plug and play. Like I could change stuff all the time, right? Like
And
conversions and this and that. Like the
and I
data's
broke this down.
awesome.
I mean, you kind of made this, but I kind of cleaned it up a little bit so it's easier to read. But this is a weekly one, but it's kind of you can kind of go off of just this if you really wanted to. I mean, I
The
kind of made
monthly
this for
one.
myself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like that first week is basically this 165 is kind of the minimum to reach that 20 leads goal. Um, and that's that 21 right here. But say I made 185 the following week, I would get almost 24. people I talk to, quality leads, 5 to underwriting, 4 would fund that, that week or whatever. So, I mean, it's kind of like how I just wanted to have different values just so you can kind of gauge and see how far, what the different values might take you.
Week 4, that must be like a Christmas month or something.
Well, I just
Dropping
always
off.
played it like, how like you say like a Friday, somebody only makes 25 calls instead of on, Thursday, you're psyched for the weekend, but you want to make as many calls as possible. So you make 50 or 60, so
Right. And this is
whatever.
obviously like what we're talking with this, because if I was like a VA or a call center person, then these are way, 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 way low. But these are for what we should be doing, right? Which is a combination of multiple marketing channels that might be coming in and referrals and outbounds and stuff, right? So I would
Yeah, I'm
think, right?
taking
Is
this
that how you
as
set it up?
absolutely. I mean, I think I'm going to build this out differently for maybe new people or whatever. But yeah, this is definitely going to be, this is for all channels kind of thing. It's not cold calling, so.
Yeah. If cold
Yeah.
calling, you'd be like
Yeah.
180,
Yeah, exactly.
10% client spoke to, whatever.
Right.
It'd be way different. So,
Yeah. No,
but yeah.
absolutely.
So
So
it was like, that's ridiculous. These numbers, who only makes 40 calls? It's like, well, these are qualified calls. So this is,
yeah, hopefully they're not just phone book random finger calls there. So,
yeah, maybe like
um,
week 3, you actually did a day of cold calling and got up to 200 on this
yeah,
chart, right?
exactly.
But,
Maybe 100. Yeah. Maybe
yeah,
100
maybe you
people
banged
were
out extra
cold
calls that
calls.
day because marketing was light or whatever the reason was. Weren't
Right.
getting the other calls. Pipeline was blown out. Whatever. Um, but yeah, that'd be a good way to judge it.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I think I'll break down that stuff later on as far as I think it'll be good to break down where they came from and what's going on. So, but this is just, yeah, your basic stuff that we went over. But I think this is like what you and Andrew had, I think, and on a smaller scale or easier scale to just follow, I guess. But,
Yeah, we
um,
had that one. It was really good. It looked prettier, but I think I
I didn't,
manipulated the the spreadsheet
yeah,
so
all the
many
formulas
times
are all
that
jacked up. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I was
I've
like,
done
I
that,
need
the
to give it
stuff.
the OG one again.
Yeah. I don't know where we need the master copy back somewhere.
I've done that
Um,
a few times, especially with like pro formas. That's why I started just saying like,
yeah.
screw it, I'm going to create my own, and I have
I,
like 10 different versions.
I think I had Tessa had to send me that amortization, the basic amortization schedule, because I jacked it up so many times and it wouldn't work for me anymore. So
Our old school one, the old
yeah,
comparison one that
just the basic little the stupid one. But I have a new one, but it was jacked up forever. I was like, God,
by the way,
money sign, error. Yeah.
if you want a good online version of it, where's that? I found
The
one today and it was
amortization.
kind of, I was like, maybe I'm going to start using this.
I actually thought
Calculator.net.
of I think Bankrate. No, BizRate. Somebody has a good one, but I
Every
was trying
single
to
website we have one on our website. You probably don't even know that, but there's mortgage calculator on there
AFN.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that MBS Highways, I was trying to learn theirs the way they do it. They always do like a quick run through of it in 10 seconds. And I'm like, they're like, it's so easy to use. And I just never really play with it too much. But I think theirs works really good. It's like easy to read too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Check them all out. Like I said, some of them are too basic. As I was preparing for the marketing today, I was looking and I did the calculator.net one. I just typed in FHA loan calculator, and it was pretty cool too because it gave me the whole amortization schedule at the end as well.
there's,
Um,
yeah.
which is cool. The reason I like
Hey,
our old one is to compare an old whatever they have to the new one, and then find out the
right.
breaking points and find out the
That,
break even points and the total
no, that's
interest.
nice. I hate
Yeah,
when you get
I
to the
haven't
end
found.
or you search something like that and it's just basically a loan company funneling you to go apply for a loan pretty much.
I just thought, let me.
Have you had that? They're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, that's what
I
they
want to know
are.
my
It's
amortization.
all. It's a magnet, dude. It's literally a. I think I'm making a landing page. I just did one today, calculators.directmyloan.com because I want,
uh,
and I'm just thinking
it's
like
like,
maybe we should see
how do I
Tessa
get rid of my
for,
mortgage insurance? And it just funnels.
I'm going to see, I'm going to do this right now because I'll forget. Let's see if we can get our comparison. Can't type from this angle, dude. Like I'm like weird angles over here trying to like reach cameras over
You're
here,
reaching
screens
around.
over there.
I know this thing when I'm typing is kind of, I don't know.
I
I
don't even
gotta
know why I'm
figure
doing
out
that.
my.
It's like a wireless keyboard. So wait, hold on. Just
You
let me
can move
do.
it. Yeah.
I didn't think about that because I'm not smart. Let me see if we can get our comparison amortization schedule in a web form. Put on a landing or web page. AB corporate can program or our favorite people. Okay, sorry. That'd be a good one. That's because that's a good magnet. This is exactly what people do. Is like, oh, I want to know what my payment would be. Let me go punch it in. Oh,
Right.
qualify for a loan. Click here or whatever.
Yeah, I always get sucked in just trying to Google stuff, but makes sense as a little thing. But no, I wanted to get back from the weekly here, and then I went monthly, and I just kind of tried to go, do that
Yeah, I
thing.
like your
So
monthly because then you're actually breaking. That's how you break down your your funded,
right, I mean,
what you could
this
fund
might
with
be
that kind
low,
of work.
high. I know, just based off some of the loans lately have been, you know, investment property in Alabama is like 125, or you got a HELOC
Yeah.
for what this. So I don't know. I just think an
Well,
average is pretty much
here's how
So
I mean, we were running 350, 375 averages 2 years ago, right? And now
right,
we're like for our first market target, we're targeting a very specific time frame of people that acquired a new loan. Again, if we're doing refinances, people have been paying them down for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But I think it's going to be higher because everything appreciated this last year, right? By 5, 6%, whatever, whoever you ask, somewhere around there.
right,
So I mean, I could just assume that my $400,000 loan that they bought a year plus ago is maybe worth 420 or whatever, right? So I think that's going to make a big difference. And we were focused on more purchases, not people that have been in the loan that have refinanced 14 times, and now they're getting a 275 and they're trying to refinance for the 15th time.
right,
So hopefully we'll
right.
come across more people that just got something that wasn't good, and now they're trying to get something better. And the cool part with what we're doing, obviously bigger loan amounts, but like we talked about, think outside the box. Even though say we're marketing for a streamline or a purchase or regular refi, I mean, what makes sense for the person to pay the extra, like we did on that one? I think you're talking right now like $500 savings, or I'm sorry, that was a sample one that we did. Don't mind that. That was Janelle in the background making exotic noises. What's going on over here? Wow. So, hey-o. So yeah, anyways, I think we're going to see higher loan amounts, which means a bigger loan, more flexibility in what we can do. As far as helping the client, they're going to have more
Right,
savings. It's hard to, this little loans, it's hard to find savings. That's like when I got in the business,
right,
everybody's like, oh, if you're not saving 2%, it's not worth doing. Well, I'm like, yeah, on a $40,000 loan, that makes sense or whatever. Right.
right,
And
right.
then a decade ago, it was like, if you're not saving 1%, it's
1%.
not worth doing. And then
I heard that a
we looked
lot.
at, like,
Yeah.
your friend had a jumbo loan, 0.25%. Whoa, it saves them $500 or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's
So
huge.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's a little different. So I hate when people have these, there's some rules you live by when it comes to like data and metrics and stuff like that. You get your 80-20 rule, your 70% rule. There's the 100/10 or whatever rule. I mean, everybody comes up with their own fancy phrase for rules, but it doesn't apply when you're trying to educate somebody or help somebody out financially. So,
Right. No, this is a modest number for sure. So I just wanted to put it there. It's easy to read. So,
but by the way, I was talking to Johnny when Janelle was doing payroll, and I was talking to Johnny. He
mhm.
actually did a mail, I guess, to I think like this, like what we're doing.
Oh,
And
really?
he said he did it they got 5 people there that they were doing it for. So they did a larger amount, but,
Right.
he had a ton of calls a day. He's like, it was so bad. We had like 20 plus calls missed.
Missed? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because everybody was, so like side note, right? Everybody's kind of got in their flow, in their mojo. And when you first do something, it's like everybody has an excuse why they're busy. One's like, I am be at the DMV. And one guy's like, "Oh, I forgot to get a headset," and or whatever the reason. I'm not feeling good. I got a tummy ache, whatever it was. So there's just like people like not there. They're not in the work
It,
mode, right? So they're
they
in the
weren't
lazy
locked in.
mode
Yeah.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in the. I got a million excuses. I got to get my dry cleaning. That's more important than my business.
Well,
So
that's going to be the playbook. First line,
yeah,
make sure you're plugged into all channels and outlets, as this will be your tools for your tool belt. Logged in the CRM, Zillow, Optimal, MBS, blah, blah, blah. Whatever will help you over the phone to help the customer. Do not want to
Slack.
lose.
Yeah,
Yeah, Slack, whatever. Do not want to lose a deal client just because you don't have the tool on the hand there.
yeah. I like that. That's a good one. Highlight that, bold it, underline it, make it a GIF. I don't know.
Make it blue. Yeah.
Make it blue.
Make
Easier
it
and
blue.
prepare you for success. Be ahead of the customer preferred. Yeah, yeah. So, and for yourself, for other people, for myself, I always say the same stuff, right? Don't forget those rules. You missed a call.
All right.
That's 300% chance you're not getting that call back. So
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is just goes back to that, but yeah, for sure, like exactly what you just talked about. I mean, but I think that goes back to the big. I mean, the market's been slow. People are gotten out of the habits and being ready, whatever. So, yeah. So yeah, I wanted to
yeah. So with
make sure.
that, oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to make sure that was a major point. I mean, this is for me, and then whoever starts or starts out, have all your credentials, have every login's done. Don't be hanging on to your. It's like you running out the house with your pants half on or something, with your shoes not on, whatever. So you got to be
Yeah.
ready. Yeah, be fully
Then,
dressed.
like that example I was just telling you, Johnny, the person that didn't have it was one of the top people, but hasn't been
Right.
doing anything really for the last
He's
year,
just
right? So,
he's just been whatever. Yeah, no, I
like,
get it. It
he's like, you
makes
don't
sense,
have
but
that? It's like, yeah, like, do you want me to make sure you have internet too?
yeah.
You have a mouse? Should I go check and make sure you got a mouse? I mean, come on. But yeah, get back in the swing of things. Like, so get fired up. We all know it's a mental game. So yeah, that's cool. I mean, those are like goals and to dos, I think, right? So that's kind of,
Yeah, I think for this, I'm going to throw down and just keep adding and taking out stuff and make sure it's a little just cleaner, easier to read, easier to comprehend.
it's an ongoing thing that's always
Yeah,
changing, right? So,
yeah,
and I say document everything too. Like I said, I know sometimes I know people probably think like you're stupid, Jared. You don't use most of it anyways, or you lose it or whatever. But that's cool. I'd rather lose like 80% of it and know I got the good 20% of stuff. So
right.
yeah, like I said, that's why I try to record meetings even, it's like, are we ever going to look at it? Probably not. But what if we do? What if we want to?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
if it
maybe
helps
we'll.
somewhere?
Right.
Um, so yeah,
Okay.
like document everything. So yeah, when you start
I
going
think
through
we're.
that, like I said, those goals and those must haves, and then, the procedures might be stuff like what you were doing, measure metrics,
Yeah, and that's. I mean,
closing at getting a 60% um, connect call, whatever it's called. What was whatever that was,
this was
contact
the
or
first
whatever it
week right
was.
here. 165 calls made, and if Johnny's metrics are right, hopefully this is where we'll get 20 qualified leads, and a quarter of them will get sent to underwriting, and 3/4 will make it through all the way to the end. So
Oh, he
about
didn't get any
four.
loans out of it. He just got a bunch of missed
No, I
calls.
know. No, I know. But yeah,
I'm just joking.
Uh,
I think he got one himself.
you
Actually,
got
he
to
said
answer the
well.
calls. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point. That's the point. I should put a little asterisk here. Must answer the calls if
Yeah,
called
must
in.
actually be on the phone
Yeah.
to
So,
count a call as being made.
but I mean, I laid it all out. Yeah, I mean, it's 4 here, 4.5. 200 calls is almost 5. If it's only 125 in a week, you're less than 3, which is probably still overestimating still, but who knows? But I mean, that's 16 funded loans in a month if you put all that into it.
Right. And then we
And then
reverse
this
it
is
from there. How do I make sure we
right,
can get 165 calls in a week, right?
right, yeah,
And and we break that down. Maybe that's 5 or 6 mail calls and 5 or 6 off the website, and 10 referrals and 20 outbounds and whatever, right? Whatever those equal to get there. It's going to come from different
but yeah, I like how we
different
could.
angles.
But
So
I think the way to do it, but keeping the weekly is going to be because you can get your days. You have to go having this. Sometimes it's like 165. How am I going to make that many in a week? It sounds overwhelming, but you back it
mm-hmm.
out, and it's not that hard. I mean, look, it's like that. So you know what I mean? So
Well, that goes, yeah, perfect. Just like the Andrew one, right? It's like I want to make $365,000 this year.
that
And then you
sounds
break it
crazy.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Well, that's $1,000 a day. So
Right.
I mean, every hour I got to make $100 or
Yeah. I
120,
mean, back it
depending on how
out.
much I want to work.
Right. Exactly. So that goes into it too. But yeah, breaking it down this way, it cuts your sandwich in half, so it's easier to eat. Is how I would put it. Um,
Yeah.
you can
So
actually
yeah,
see.
test run that. And then as you're going through that and as you kind of figure out where these numbers might be, maybe you drop it 5% and you put that in the SOPs as a standard operating procedure. Like I did the one with Jill, right? And close 80% of the files submitted, refis less than 20 days, purchase files are cleared 1 week prior. Like those are kind of goals, but they're also made up numbers right now. So
Right. That might be tough, or might
yeah, I
be
mean
easy for her. Maybe you can improve on it. So
because we do it for so long, it's kind of we kind of have the idea. I mean, I know
ideal.
like we are like 75% probably on average, 77% on a close ratio before. But again, we weren't monitored. We know a lot of people burn through a lot of deals.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I remember a handful. I mean, more than a handful that probably could have been saved just by little stupid things that were done to lose them. So
Little tweaks, little whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And
So
then other procedures will be like, yeah, leads here, addressing the leads, right? Like how they're being addressed. So again, all of it's going, what automation do we have? What do we not like? What third party sources are we going to need? Those are, and then utilize, right? I like it. All right.
yeah, we got a
Was there
good
anything
start
else
here. I
for call
think.
tracking, KPIs for reaching out? Was that something different? Oh, that was nothing. Okay. Disregard. KPIs, baby. That's going to tell us everything once we start doing it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just trying to build it out to where, and like I said, these might be an overestimate, underestimated loan amount, whatever the case. This is just like at least the freaking equations are in there, so you can plug and play now. So it's not like I have to rebuild it. So it's there, and we can go off of calls, trickle down to quality leads, to underwriting, to funded, to the whole deal. So this will keep track of it. So
no, I'm excited because again, we do the same thing with everything. I do the same thing with funded loans when it comes to profitability, or as last year and a half has been, negative profitability.
Yeah.
And then also with the marketing channels, it's all going to come down to these breakdowns. Like like
Right.
we were looking at it last week or whatever, right? It's 20%. Is it $50? Is it $100? 10%? All that kind of stuff. So awesome,
Right.
man. I think that'll be good. Like I said,
I'll keep tweaking it.
we should probably do like
to
this.
make it look nice.
We'll do like exactly. Remember, that's the fun part. We're like, oh, I want this color coding stuff, but
I mean, it's not a big deal.
I think we should we'll go back like a month from now maybe and do another one about this one, because I think this is good because most people out there don't do this kind of shit pretty much. Like they're just winging it, right? Like
Right.
we used to joke as loan officers why we loved real estate relationships is because they were the worst marketers. But I think loan officers are pretty bad too sometimes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, not even going to the profitability, just tracking what you're actually doing or relying on somebody else to track it for you. Like
Right.
when you're in the business, like this business, I don't care if you work for a company or broker or lender or whatever, you run your own business. And if you're not holding yourself accountable, or any sales, that doesn't matter. Car sales, like goods car sales people keep track of their stuff, I'm sure. And the 80-year-old car sale guy has been doing it for 50 years, probably doesn't know. He just waiting to get his
Right.
Bud Light on the way home and enjoy his evening. But so so many people I see that just run their business like kind of wing it. They don't really know. They're just guessing numbers. Like know it
It's
down to the
sloppy.
T. Yeah,
Yeah.
know it down to the T. I'm
Yeah.
doing a challenge starting tomorrow for the real estate investing thing, right? And one of their things was like your fire number, they call it, which is
Fire.
knowing your to the dollar of what you actually need to make, say a month, right, to survive, like pay your bills, like your house, food on the table, and whatever. Not all the extra stuff, but not like, oh, it's around 2,000 or it's around 10,000 or whatever. Like, is it $11,150.62? That's kind of what I need, right?
Down to the penny. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and that was like, I kind of wing that number sometimes, right? Because whatever,
Just
it varies.
round.
But what do I actually need, like, to make sure the family's taken care of? Not the Amazon purchases, not the extra car loans and going out to eats and stuff like that, right? But all the actual down, because then you could reverse it back and say, okay, that's what I need to make. So if I was, creating a lead source or or buying properties or buying something passive or something I wanted to be consistent with,
Right.
what I needed to make the bare minimum.
Like that. Right.
And then I'm
That
like,
makes
let's
sense.
call the other one the flamin' number, because that's the number you want to get to after you get to the fire number.
The flaming number.
My fire number's $7,510. My flaming
What's your
number's
what's your
$50,000.
fire sign?
So yeah, I think it's good. Keeping all track of that, like I said, and keep track. I'm sure you'll do this, or you probably do this already, but keep track of the dollars and where these actually end up to as well, right? Like a company, as a person, as a whatever,
Right.
because you start thinking differently.
No, yeah, I'm gonna build a couple of these different ones out, but this is, I think, we'll get us started here.
Now that you're an Excel pro
I
or
got
Google
better just
Sheets
in a
pro,
couple hours just playing with it. Yeah. So
did you Google this or did you chat your codes or your
I did
formulas?
them. I learned that yeah. I just kind of I messed up a lot and I did errors, and then I was like, it kind of helps you too when you do some of them. Like it'll help you and give you like a thing.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I didn't like Sheets, Google Sheets. I liked Excel, and now
See, it
I'm
has
starting to
like,
like more Sheets again more. So
yeah, like it has some of the help you out, but um, yeah, no, I kind of played with it, and that's the way I learned too. If I Google an answer and it tells me, I won't remember. So this kind of helps me. So
yeah, well, I think it helps too, but you have to learn right and in an efficient manner. Where most people fail is having laser focus on doing what they are doing at that moment too. I know if like I told you before, I wasn't really paying attention. I mustered and managed my way through
all right, you're just
bad
buddy,
formulas and stuff because I never really focused enough to like spend time on it.
right? You
So even
didn't
like
think it
Google Ads,
was
I had the account for
listing,
like the last month or two, but I haven't set it up because I had to like have a 4-hour block of coffee, no kids, disruptions, and stay on it. So yeah, I think like, so you can learn any. I had that talk with Braden today, my son, and I was like, you can if you're doing something that's great, if you're focused on doing it, no matter what, you're going to be good at it if you do it.
right? You just got to do it.
Just got to do it.
No, that's true. That's true. Oh, oh yeah, I'll ask you later. But anyways, this was a good start to this, I think, and I'm gonna keep adding to it, and I'm gonna keep adding to this, and fill in the gaps and whatever I feel needs to be added or taken out. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. Just kind of build it as it goes, man. It's going to constantly be building, and without having too much on the plate. Like it's literally, I'm sales driven. What do I need to do? What do my goals need to be? And how am I going to answer these? And how do I keep getting better? Um,
it's almost like
on
a
it.
journal for me too, because like say something good happens, I can just jot it down here and you know put, add some bullet points to correspond with it. Or if
It's a
something negative
100%
happens,
the will
right?
journal.
Yeah, it's kind of a
No,
journal basically right now for me. So,
yeah,
yeah.
get the journal app on the phone, man. Then you can just
Well, I
put all
have
your.
well,
Yeah, I got a Google document. I'm good.
Chat GPT put this. Yeah, I don't know.
My
But
chat,
anyways,
put my thoughts on paper, please. Thanks.
yeah, this is kind of like a journal. So yeah, it'll be the good, the bad, the ugly, and what works, what's not working, and fine tune that. And I think that'll be a good playbook.
Yeah.
So
He said, you nailed on the head, man. Just do how you would want to do it and how you'd want it replicated. Because when we get to past the road to 20 to the road to 100, that's exactly what you need to do. And you don't want to do what
right,
I've done in the past, which is just waste a lot of time doing the same thing for something that doesn't,
right.
wasn't hired
This can
right
be
or isn't in it as much as you are, for example, right? Like I
right,
get discouraged when I'm like, dude, I eat, breathe, sleep. I'm like, I go to Disneyland and I'm thinking about what do I need to do for marketing or something? Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna make it? How do I
right,
sell this to put it towards this to get or just in that world,
right,
right? But yeah,
right.
make it the will journal. I love it. I love
Okay.
it. I love it. I think
So
too, like, well, what about What would you say, like what's your top sales tip right now? I'm changing off topic, by the way, just literally because we're not talking about it. But
Okay.
what would you say, like, if somebody were to start right now and you got to get them motivated, what would be your advice?
Hmm. That's a good question. I don't want to make it generic and whatever. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. That's a good question. Because it seems like when you ask somebody that question, I mean, everybody's always money driven or whatever at the end of the day, or any money for whatever reason they want the money for. We always talk that 5 level deep, 7 level. I need security for my family. I need retirement. I need this and that, right? With all those things. Everybody always wants those things. But I mean, besides that, obviously that's the obvious answer. I need shelter. So whatever those obvious answers, I want to get out the way, but I want like to get more to the core of how are you going to be successful doing this every day and be happy doing it. It's kind of like that's the answer I want to be looking for. Um, yeah, that's a tough one. I honestly have to think about that because I've seen people, and you've seen 1,000 people times, more than me, but the people that have come and gone and left, and the reason they couldn't stay or didn't want to stay or whatever, it's a good question to ask because that's probably going to be the base for even that's like step one, like why are you here, kind of thing. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, why are they here? And then the other part of it was what kind of advice would you give them? But finding out why they're here, and we've had this talk
yeah,
too. I think even when like back when you started, there's somebody right around that same time. It's like, just hoping I can make $60,000 a year. That was like the highest goal in their world, and I'm like, dude, that's easy. Go work at Amazon, man. You're in the wrong business for that. Like, people here have big dreams usually. We want bigger things, and they might not get it, but
right.
they're shooting for it, right?
Yeah, you got
What
to
did I see?
think
I
big.
saw a good quote.
I saw, every time I've had people ask me to like, oh, what do you do? I want to try and do that. Can I do that? And I have that talk with them kind of for like 15 minutes, whatever. And I kind of ramble and like tell them what I do. And how it's a lot of multitasking and it's like high stress. You got to get beaten up, but you're going to have a great day. It's just, you got to be, you got to be like flubber. You got to be stretched. You got to be flexible. You got to be able to bounce off the walls. You got
The
to be like,
rewards are amazing, but you have to have all these other
yeah, it's,
abilities, if you will, to
it's
do it.
probably, you know, it, I always tell, I just, at the end of the day, it's multitasking to like on a severe level with like high, yeah, there's just like, yeah, it's high pressure sometimes. It's not no pressure sometimes, but it's it's a roller coaster. The highs and lows can be a lot, and it's just hard. I would say my biggest advice to somebody is like to stay even keel in a non-even keel um, environment. That's probably like it's very hard to like. I think you're good at that because like I feel like the world is crashing down, Chicken Little's falling, the whole thing, and you're like, oh, we'll just ask the underwriter, and I'm just like, it just like it's just staying like that even keel, like while the roller coaster's going up and down. It's like
The trick is to be
that's
drunk or high 90% of the time, or
that's
you
why I
just don't
think most,
care. Just joking.
and that's why I think you've talked, like a lot of LOs are just always smoking coffee, pills, this, that, whatever. Um,
A lot of salespeople are, right?
Sales in general, right? I mean, that they get a bad stigma, but that's just how they cope with it
But
or
you don't
deal with
need all
all the
that to be that
craziness.
way. Like I said, yeah, I think it's kind of like, yeah, it's never the end of the world. I think, like, so that's advice you give to anybody who talks about wanting to do something, because life, everything in life is sales, right? Like, no matter what you're doing, you're selling yourself to get a job as a Walmart greeter if that's what you wanted to do. You know, I took Braden, my son, out to do some interviews today, right? Even though I'm against it, but it's still selling himself, like, or they're selling him. Like, one, he was impressed and liked them, and they really liked him. The other one was like not impressed and didn't sell him to even want to be there in the first place. So
Right,
anybody getting into sales has to have desire, want, thick skin, as we say, not get overloaded on uh, situations. Just know how to handle it. That's one of the things we saw. It's like, I don't care about your knowledge. I care about how you handle situations, right? If we're hiring somebody right now and they're like, I've been doing this for 20 years. And the other person's like, I'm not. I started 5 months ago, but I know how to do this. And I built a cool processing workflow and SOPs for myself. And they're like, but I'll figure it out kind of mentality.
Right.
That wins every time. And that's because that's
Right.
sales, right? It's like, I got to figure this out. Shit's going to happen and blow up on you, and you have to figure it out. And if you don't like that, don't want that, then don't do that. But yeah, like I said, that's just gonna be the difference of, like I said, do you want a job that you put everything in somebody else's hands, or do you want a career that you control? But like I said earlier, you got to run it like it's your business, because at the end of the day, you're accountable for your own actions no matter what.
Yeah,
There's
it's all
market
that. So,
issues, there's
yeah,
marketing that, I mean, I could work at a company that gives me 1 million leads. If I don't close them, they fire me. I could have 1 million leads myself. If I don't close them, I fire myself. Right. Or they're not working, I go and get deals. I mean, even when I was at like companies that were providing the marketing, I'd still talk to other people to get
right,
deals,
right,
because those ones are shit sometimes. So,
right, right, right. Yeah.
so yeah, I'd say that's good advice. The quote I heard somebody say today, I liked,
Mm,
which was, I found it, by the way: be bold, shoot for the stars, and hit the moon. And I like that, because that's kind of like
yeah,
what we do every day. We're going to shoot for
yeah.
100. We might hit 50 or 60 or 80 or 120 or 130 or whatever, right? We don't know, but
That's
we're
the
aiming.
analytics. Yeah.
Exactly. We aim. What's the analytics say? Go back to the data. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think, like I said, that's good. And to also fall back on the other part too, I thought everybody says money, but that's always the first layer. So like, you nailed it with like,
Right.
dig those layers deep. You got to get down there, because that's like,
Right.
I want financial freedom. I need to make good money. But
Yeah. Everybody wants
there's
that.
always, what I've come across, like I think a lot of people want either security or acceptance, like to feel like they're a part of something. That's like the number
Mm,
one thing. They wanted money, but they really wanted somebody to listen to them. They wanted to be a
mm,
part of a team, or be a part of something.
hmm.
Um, or they wanted stability, right? Which obviously this is not the business for that. So,
Right. Yeah.
but unless you make it stable, but yeah, those are like the biggest things. And because it would start with money, but if it wasn't working out, or you weren't listening to them, they can get
Right.
hostile or upset or lose hope or whatever. So I think,
Mm,
yeah. So people, I feel, ultimately want to be a part of something. Those go getters, right?
okay.
And
I
in
think,
doing
yeah,
so, you make
I
money.
think the answer.
Yeah.
It's always different
I
for
yeah,
everybody.
I
So,
just ask myself, because sometimes I'm like, I'm done with this business. Like,
right.
no, why am I here? Well, it's because I'm pretty good at it. I've been doing it a long time. It's fun. Sometimes I want to choke myself or somebody else, but at the end of the day, I actually like it. Probably
Right.
because I like have a lot of energy, and it's usually a high energy, lots of things, moving parts going on.
Right.
But you
Yeah.
got to mix it up,
Okay.
because there's certain things I don't like about it all day. Like, I don't want to sit at the desk all day. Obviously, I stand
Right.
up and walk around and do this. How do I mix it up? Oh, I get out there and talk to people, or I walk around, whatever. I like that part of it.
No,
Why
that
are
can
you
be
doing
almost.
this? Because I want acceptance.
All right. I like that. Now I'm gonna create some. Yeah, that's something that I think people should answer at the beginning, just to kind of like, and obviously everybody's gonna say the money thing, but just break it down, just to kind of get a better understanding of where they fall as far as work ethic, this and that. That'll kind of explain a little bit about them. So, um,
Yeah,
no, I like it.
people, the ones you don't, the ones that were red flags to me, and whether I listened to the red flag or
Yeah, what's the
not.
red flag on like that answer?
Yeah, well, like the question might be, oh, why don't you like the company you're at, or why didn't it work out at that
Yeah. Mm,
company? And if they say something like, they treated me unfair, or they owed me and I never got it, or they promised me this, those are the people, the red flags I would say I should have said. If I didn't, I understand, but we're not a good fit. Because again, you blaming, and people in sales blame everybody else, right? It's everybody but them. Everybody for
right.
the but them, that they can't make their car payments, that they got a cocaine addiction, that they cheat on their wife, right? It's everybody else's fault, but that comes back down to that accountability. Like, no, it is in your ballpark. If you're in this business, you're able to change it, anything. So when people start blaming other people, it's like, you didn't have leads. Well, did you go out and try to get any? Oh, they owed you something. Did you make more?
No, I had to
Did
start
you?
school and
I hate excuses and I hate blaming. My pet peeves. And then if I catch myself doing it too, like, usually I don't think I do it too much with like my work family, but my home family, I sometimes I do. So those are things I try to improve on as well, right? Because we're always trying to change things and get better. But yeah, there's nobody to blame. There's only problems that you move past to get to other problems.
You want to know what? But before I have to go right now, I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin here. My pet peeve of the day, or might have been last week too, but
Loans, pet peeve of the day, and
pet
the,
peeve.
the year.
You know, when you click out of something or you click on something and it says, "Are you sure?" on all these electronics, and then it asks you again if you're sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I pressed the button. That's why I'm sure.
Hell yeah, I'm sure. Gosh,
Jesus, are you? Yeah.
Jesus.
Do you want to close this window? Yeah. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to? Are you sure you want to press this button to say that you're closing the window? Yes. Okay.
Did that just happen right now and trigger you?
No,
Were you trying to close
I
the
thought of
screen
it. I've
share?
been thinking about it for like months, and I'm like, what? I don't know what app it is or whatever, but it just always asks me, "Are you sure? Are you sure you're sure?" And I'm like, okay, yeah, just keep asking me. I'm sure, and then we'll never get out of this. So I'm in the matrix.
Yes, it's true. So and actually, you can close the screen share. Let's just go back since we're gonna cut it.
Oh yeah,
Close that screen share. Get rid of your playbook.
nice.
What was I saying? Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say the hard part with that is like I get mad at that too, but then I doubt myself because usually a little button like, "Do you want to see this pop up again?" And I'm like, "No," but then I'm like, "Well, maybe I want to be reminded." So
Oh
my
yeah,
pet peeve
I
is,
know exactly what
you
you're
know what I'm
talking
saying?
about. Yeah,
Like I'll look
yeah,
at it, I'm like, "Oh yeah, screw this." I'm like, but what if I miss it?
yeah.
What if I
What if
close it on accident? I didn't mean to. Oh my gosh.
I want to be asked? I want to be asked this again at some point.
That's like indecisiveness. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, like
I'll make this decision later on. I don't want to do it now. Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
you, but yeah, send it to me next time, and then I'll tell you, screw you then.
yeah. That happens all the time. But that was my peeve of the. I've been
The peeve
thinking
of the
about that
day?
one.
The
I've been
peeve
peeving
of the
on it.
day.
I've been peeving.
Hey, by the way, when I go like this, does that go a lot quieter versus like here? This microphone I feel like doesn't collect the sound the same.
It's like
Hello, how
I
are
would
you
say
doing over here today? Okay, good.
that wasn't. It's like 5% difference. It's not
Oh,
like
okay. It just
it's
sounds
not
less in my headphones, probably.
it's not considerably noticeable. I don't know if that mine changes quite a bit from me from 6 inches to a foot. I don't know. Is it?
That's what she said.
Hey.
Ayo.
Oh, where's that little thing?
Oh wait. Whoops, did I not want
Oh,
that one? Oh wait.
that works too.
Oh my
With the
gosh.
drums, don't you have the drum one for the bad? Do do do. That'll work too. You have to learn your little buttons. Oh,
Oh,
there
is
it
that the
is.
one you wanted? There it is.
Yeah,
Say it
yeah.
again. That's what she said.
Oh, got him. Get him, Jimmy.
If I only knew what we were doing over here. If I only knew how to do this stuff, it'd be awesome. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. I like this talk today. This is cool. I like this webcam, by the way, or this setup, right? This is kind of cool. Like
Yeah, it's
better
cool.
zoom.
Oh, yeah, it's much better. It's like cleaner. I think my camera's a little fuzzy, but it's not bad though. I think it's fine
Yeah, I
actually.
don't know. Well, it says actual recording is higher quality. So I remember, I think this records like both of us at half of it.
Oh,
But I'm curious if I'm going to be choppy because, like I said, this is the desktop work computer, not the recording computer,
I think your
and
thing might be not as high a quality as you're recording at or whatever the
the
case. It's
graphics
right,
processor card in the computer isn't probably very good.
right.
So
That sounds. It says
we're going to see what.
99% uploading, so it's like literally uploading as you play it, pretty
Yeah,
much.
so if you get disconnected, it still will save it and keep it
That's
and all that
cool.
stuff. So I think they have some cool
Yeah,
stuff like that in here. But
yeah.
um, I like it. We'll see when we save it if it actually makes me choppy and you fuzzy. And if
And then
so,
result.
yeah. Well, I had like a couple studio rooms on this Riverside FM podcast thing, right? So
Mhm.
I have one that's like Jared's workstation, which is this one, but I set at 1080 for me. And then I have the podcast that I set at 4K because that's normally what we would do right there. So I'll
over there.
just make another studio
Right.
for Jared and
For
will
this.
virtual podcast on a crappy computer version.
Okay.
Or it comes out good afterwards. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. But yeah, we'll figure it out. So no, I liked it. It was cool.
Nice.
Coolio.
I like it too. So yeah, we'll come up with more topics. Tomorrow we'll do more of the. We'll come up with some more stuff tomorrow. Actually, what are we going to go over tomorrow? We have our ideas and stuff too, but I mean,
I have my
the same exact thing.
I think we have what's the mortgage basics is what our main focus was.
Oh yeah. We had I like lost it. Ideas for emails.
I think we're gonna have like 3 big topics, and we were gonna do one basics of mortgage, just to kind of overview, break it down, make it easy to whatever.
That's true. Okay, awesome. I love it. Yeah, we're doing that tomorrow.
2, I don't know what we didn't really decide on those other 2.
No, let's just stick to basics, babe. There's like so much we can do on the basics.
Yeah, we could do an hour on that pretty much easily. So,
I mean, I don't even know where it's at. I got all these other notes here, but I will find it. I know we put it on paper somewhere. Oh, maybe
I have the clipboard, but I think you put it on. It was on a list that you had going, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe it was.
I'll find the list.
Maybe it was on one of your flyer, like the email flyer somethings. I don't know.
We'll find it. I know it's around here somewhere. Playbook workflow for posting videos is on here.
There you go.
We're gonna have so many playbooks, bro. We're gonna be like the Dallas Cowboys playing the San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl.
What did you say? The who? Cowboys versus who?
San Fran.
49ers? You think so?
I mean, maybe.
What happened? What happened the first time they played? That was bad.
I mean, the last couple times they played have gotten destroyed. I didn't say they're going to win. I said they're going to play them.
Okay. That's fair.
If they can get past whoever's next, and then LA, and then
aren't they both? They're both NFC. They have to play in the championship before they wouldn't play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh yeah, champion.
Right? They're both NFC,
but they're the number 1 seed, San Fran, right? So
they would play in the championship game before the Super Bowl if they were going to play each other.
How's that work? I don't know, by the way, because
the 1 seeds
there's
get
more NFCs. There's only seven teams, right?
I think there's only 5.
You got the number 1 seed that has a bye week, and then you have
2 wild cards.
6 other people play, or 6 or 8 other people playing, right?
I think it's 1 and 6, because then the 2. I don't know. The 2 1 seeds.
I think you're right. 1 and 6. Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
1 with the bye, 6 other games going on. Then those drop down to 2, or you get 2 out of there plus that other one. Let's carry the 2, divide by 3.
I think 2 plays 5 and 3 plays 4 in the wild card round or something. And then the next week they go on to play the 1 seeds, and whoever wins the other ones plays each other. I don't know, something like that. But as far as Dallas, they might play them the second round if they win.
It all depends on who wins.
It's the bracketing. I don't know how it works. Yeah, it depends on if the Dallas is like 2nd seed or 4th seed or whatever. Wherever they end up at, it depends. So,
well, I think they're getting the 2nd seed. Now the question is, are they going to get home field advantage throughout if they win the last game here? Well, they're not getting the bye week. San Fran gets the bye week. They're already clinched.
San Fran would get home. They have best record, and they clinched their division.
They're going to get a bye week and home advantage. Yeah,
they're home throughout. Yeah, for sure. So if Dallas ends up playing them, they're going to have to play at San Francisco. But at that point, yeah.
But they get the first couple home games.
If
they say the 2nd seed.
Right, they had the better record than whoever else they would play in the NFC too. So yeah, they would
get home. Because the Eagles just lost, they moved up. Thank you, Eagles, for losing this last weekend.
They lost like 4 out of 5 weeks or something. So yeah,
I know. Dallas barely by a referee mistake, but whatever. We'll
Oh,
take it.
that was bad. Yeah, that was
That was ugly. Ugly.
Detroit should have won. I mean, they handed them the game, so that was
Yeah.
I
Well,
didn't like
like
that.
Green Bay always gets Dallas gets screwed by Green Bay and Lions always get screwed by Dallas. So
It's just
that's the way it
life.
is. That's
This
life.
is the
Maybe
way
you
it
should have
is.
not waited to the last 25 seconds to try to win the game. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I hate that's a pet peeve of mine too, because it's like when something bad at the end of the game happens and like didn't go their way, they're like, "Oh, it's okay. We had so many opportunities throughout." And it's like, yeah, you could have been up by 50, but you weren't. That play mattered. So stop
That
talking
sounds
about
like somebody
corporate.
losing a deal when they locked it like 3 weeks late and the market went
Yeah,
up. It's like, dude, what the heck, man? It's like, dude, you missed out. You had 3 weeks to lock that loan.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's right. I just compared football to
To
locking
mortgage,
loans.
to
What's
lock desk. All right, I got to get out of here.
All right, yeah, me too. I got food and I got a bunch of homework for myself tonight. So I got to
Oh
make a list
God.
of 30, a whole list of 30 people I know, 30 realtors, 20 wholesalers, and 100 people.
Oh my God.
Whew.